Welcome, this is Nathan and welcome back to another video. In today's video we are taking a look at a scenario where civilization starts over. I think this is episode 58. I think I said the last episode was episode 58, but after looking at it, I know after looking at it, because I've uploaded the video probably by now, definitely by now. Why would I say probably? There's no way I'd upload 58 before 57. I believe we're on 58. If we're not, it's going to be episode 59, but anyway, 58, 48, oh my god. The last video, we definitely saw quite a lot take place. We saw the unification of the blue teams. The blue team, the light blue team, and the red team forming forming Mesopotamia. India expanded down south into the, I don't even know what to call them anymore. They're dead, so I don't care. Russia collapsed, and tensions between America and Mexico started to climb. Today's video, it's going to be a big one, as, well, it's probably going to be a longer one. But to begin with, we're going to have to come to the Russian states. Specifically, oh no. Okay, that didn't do anything. Oh, wait, it did. Specifically, these 5. That's really small. These 5 are all Russian states. And within all of them, they're trying to figure out who the descendant of Russia is. Now, why is there a... Now, if it was me to decide which one is the descendant, I'd say the Orange team. They were one of the main countries that formed the Russian state. And obviously with Russia gone, they are back. But I would say that the Orange team is the descendant of Russia because they were one of the countries that formed it. I did realise that I didn't bring back the other 2 countries that were formed in it. But I don't care. I don't think they would come back, where the Orange team would. I feel like they were more significant. Now, this guy's out of the question. This guy, I mean, half the land they owned wasn't even Russian territory. Most of it wasn't Russian territory. So it kind of just leaves it to these 4, and this is where these 4 can't agree. Specifically, the red team and orange team. And things get so heated that they almost go to war. Because on the border of the red team, orange team troops fire at red team troops over the dumbest thing. They were arguing over something. I can't name what they were arguing about, because I don't know what they would be arguing about, but they were arguing over something. Maybe they were arguing over the country was better or something. And these 2 understood that this was just a skirmish, so they didn't go to war. But, yeah, Russia's a hot mess, and the Ottomans are just like, oh, what do we do? With Russia gone, there's a power vacuum in Europe. I mean, there's a power vacuum over here, and there is one country that is gonna maybe actually start to think about trying to make itself strong again. Finland. Finland. The country that's always been back and forth. I think they were involved in World War One, maybe World War Two. What are they doing? Well, with Russia gone, there's definitely a power vacuum left in the Russian states, and Finland is going to quickly take that over. The chocolate team is the power of this region of Europe. They have influence over everybody. The Ottomans are influencing, like, all of this. Now, they don't influence the Russian states because they're new. But Finland, they're going to try and make their own influence, a sphere of influence. And they're going to begin by kind of doing some stuff in the Sweden, Norway country, and Denmark. Now, these 2 countries are not in any sphere of influence. They are their own countries. They are not influenced by anybody. But that's what Finland's doing. They're trying to drag these 2 closer to them. But it works on Denmark. Doesn't work on the Norway. Doesn't work on this team. Doesn't work. Literally does not work. And then they do this for all the Russian states, and they are able to get the yellow team and the huge purple team on their side. So, hey, you got some influence. Now you just gotta try and keep it in check. Anyway, on the topic of the chocolate team, What are they doing? Well, they're invading Wales. Yep, I remember I said they're fascists, so they're gonna do this. And to be honest, people are starting to get kind of confused what the OS is doing, the Organization of States. Because there are so many countries just invading other countries and not having any consequences. And what the Organization of States' goal is to stop countries from getting to empires, because the Ottomans are not an empire. I would clearly say that. They're not an empire. But what's happened in history, the countries that have come to power and have tried to take control of the world but have failed, it's clearly showing that, and it's clearly showing to most people that if something's not done, then stuff is just gonna, like, world wars are gonna continue to happen. And especially with countries like the Chocolate Team and India on the rise, with the fact that Russia, Central Asian Union, and Korea are all gone. There are definitely multiple countries that are on the rise, and the Ottomans, they're not really doing anything. Yes, they took control of the world's economy, but they're not really developing much. It's mostly because they're starting to go kind of isolationist. Again, they never wanted to be the strongest country in the world. And with that, India, who has been invading countries, is rapidly catching up with them, and they are now at number 2. Still got a long way left to catch up with the Ottomans, but another country that is rapidly getting up there is the Chocolate Team, who again is number 3. The Ottomans aren't aggressive. They've never been aggressive. I mean, kind of. But now we come over to America and Mexico, because it's time for the biggest events since the end of World War III. America-Mexico's tensions have finally reached the climax, and it's sadly going to lead into a war. Why does Alaska have 2 capitals? You should not have 2 capitals. I'm going to get rid of that one. I don't actually know which one was the original capital. Now, the Americas, when this war takes place, how does it break out to begin with? Well, none other than America started it, because American troops fired and literally walked into Mexican territory right here. So America this was intentional, by the way. This was planned by America, and it's seen because they sent some forces out into here, and also sent forces here. Now, the Americas are like, oh, damn it. And mostly because these are the strongest countries in all the Americas. No country can rival America and Mexico, because they can't. South America, every country here is very, very, not in a good shape, I'd say. But America and Mexico, they're strong countries, and now they're dueling it out with each other, and one of them's going to collapse. So, a lot of America decides to pick sides and which side they're going to fund. All of North America, except for the pink team, they're not going to get involved. All of North America, including Greenland, are going to fund the Americans. They're close to the Americans, even if they didn't join the Economic Alliance. They're close with them. The Caribbean is also going to fund America. And it's going to be a lot different down here in South America, because these countries haven't decided to side yet, but some of them have. The Colombians are going to fund the Mexicans as well as Central America. But America is funding something. Is also funding something themselves. We'll have to see that, though. So, anyway, America will focus on trying to capture the capital of Mexico, which is all the way over here. And this can be one task, because Mexico isn't weak. They're pretty similar in rankings, America and Mexico. So America will jump in on Mexico, doing a surprise attack, and will push in with all their forces. But after getting around to this point, Mexico is finally here to push back, as they push back right here, and also begin pushing back around here. Now, America has a plan. Their plan is to push across here and cut off this land up here. And that's exactly what they do as they begin pushing out. And this is costing a lot, but they are successful in cutting off all this land, which separates quite a lot of troops. And, well, this area is not going to fall, but it's kind of a lure to all Mexican troops here just to flee into the pink team, as they are openly taking these people in and taking care of them. And America's kind of like, okay, go on, I guess. They're not really happy about it, but what can you do? Eventually, America will capture this area, and most of the Mexican troops fled into the pink team. And America's like, okay, sure. They really want to invade, but they know they can't, because that will just start up. That will just start American war. America will now begin to push down here, but here they meet a brick wall, being the Mexican army. So instead, they're going to push down the coast over here. Mexico isn't actually as focused over here as they are, like, near the capital for good reasons. But America will push down here, but eventually Mexico will stop that. But at this point, America has been funding a group within Mexico. And what group could be getting funded? Well, it's none other than the Green Team. Yep, the Yucatan country is breaks away from Mexico, declaring its independence. And this is like, the Mexicans, when they hear about this, they're like, wait, what? Because Mexico did a pretty good job on assimilating Yucatan. But, you know, you can never assimilate land to the best of your capabilities, no matter how much unless you force the people to calm down, they're never going to truly be integrated for like years. With the success of the Yucatan rebels, Mexico is like, great, I mean, separate our troops. And America has just broken through this front line, and they are going straight for the capital, which is quickly stopped by Mexico. But yeah, it's definitely not going so well. America will now begin a very large invasion into the central area of Mexico to capture, like, important bases and all that. And Mexico is now, well, they're definitely on the defeat. America is too rich. Mexico doesn't have as much money as America. America was 4 individual countries, but those 4 individual countries were weak on their own, but united together, they're stronger, and they've definitely grown in power, especially the fact that the Americas has had no interference with world wars or, like, anything like that. Like, the economic depressions really didn't affect the Americas, because, again, it did, but compared to, like, the rest of the world who was involved in the World War, America's been chilling. And obviously, America, Mexico, and other countries in America have been profiting off, like, the world wars, because countries have been coming to them for trade. And I would say, it is a lot more harmful on a country it's a lot more hard on a country who was involved in a world war with an economic depression than it is for a country that was not involved. Anyway, America will now push over to this area of Mexico, cutting off a ton of troops, which they'll quickly take out. And now we see the bloodiest battle since World War III take place at the Mexican capital. This has tens of thousands of deaths take place. Both the Mexican and American army clash here, and the war here takes weeks upon months to finish. But in the end, America is successful and will capture the capital of Mexico. Around 256,000 troops died in that one war. And with the defeat of the capital, Mexico is quickly retreating back. As, more and more groups within the old Mexican country are now beginning to pop up. Specifically, one here and one here. With these 2 groups risen up, it's obvious as Mexico is done for. At this point, Mexico will just surrender to both sides and it's like, take what you will, let us live. And they agree to it. Let's take a look at this peace treaty. Taking a look at the peace treaty, we can see that poor Mexico is getting absolutely mauled here. America will be annexing all of this land from Mexico, making themselves huge and very scary on the world map. And for the rest of Mexico, oh my god. And for the Yucatan country, they're returning. I believe the capital was located in Yucatan. I don't fully remember, but we're going to put it in Yucatan because I believe it was. And with that, Mexico just got defeated, and the side that was funding Mexico is now embarrassed. With this war, America is going to really benefit from it, as a lot of countries are now going to look towards them instead of Mexico. Especially, this new Yucatan country, because they're going to obviously need help reforming their country. And it's here we see America decide it's time to form an alliance. What shape have we not used? I don't know what shape we haven't. Okay, I mean, bear with me here, but we'll do this. The Star Alliance will be forming. Oh, that is horrible. We have the formation of the Star Alliance. This is going to be right now. It's only going to be between America and the new Mexican country. Oh my god, these are. Just remember, these are stars. I just realised. There we go. The Star Alliance is formed between America and Mexico, or Yucatan. And hey, you know, I mean, America's gonna start actually getting pretty up there, and I guess it's good, but we're gonna come over to this map. Oh shoot, I completely forgot. Okay, this is interesting. Now, there's a lot of countries in this thing, and more countries are there are going to be more countries joining, because to be straight up honest with you, countries are starting to get kind of desperate for the for protection, because right now there are a lot of scary powers that are just doing whatever they want. Okay, I'll just go to this one. And we have a couple countries who are applying to join the Organization of States. So let's see who they are. To begin with, oh my god. To begin with, oh my god, that's not big enough. To begin with, the last two Central Asian countries will be joining the Organization of States. These two countries were released under democratic countries. We also see, we also can see that Japan is going to be joining. We can also see that the blue team is joining. It took them long enough. Ireland, that is so big. Ireland and Scotland will be joining. And we also see the Cyan team, and most shockingly, Finland join. Finland is trying to change. I mean, they're trying to change their old ways. But with Finland joining, that is another really powerful country in the alliance. But they're still struggling to have people like America or the people in America to join, because America's just not in the mood, especially with the fact that Mexico just got absolutely clapped by America. Nobody really wants to get involved with anything. Anyway, right back to the alliance map. A new country will be joining an economic alliance. Now, which economic alliance? Well, glad you asked. The pink team will be joining the Square Alliance. This was bound to happen. They've been looking at joining this thing for a while, and they finally joined it. Basically meaning that all of North America, but except for a few countries, are actually joined the Square Economic Alliance. We also actually have to update this one over here, because the purple team will be joining the Triangle Alliance. This is kind of like a desperate attempt. And I know. Why is this a desperate attempt? Well, the purple team ain't doing so well. They're not in a good spot. I've kind of noticed the spot they're in, and I realised that they are mostly desert. And I realised their capital's in the desert, which probably isn't the most realistic thing. But they're going to join the Triangle Alliance to hopefully stabilise their country. Worst case scenario, they have to just move their capital or something like that. Or even worst case scenario, they collapse, which they're definitely on the watch of collapsing. But anyway, for our last event of the video, we have to come over to the pink team. And the pink... Now, why are we talking about the pink team? I would say the pink team is the most important country in the series. Yes, the enemy, I know. The pink team, the people here don't know what to do. Their country is back, but it still doesn't feel the same. You know, they still remember the empire the country used to be, and the people know that. Like, the people know that, and the leader of the pink team right now, she's kind of like hesitant to do anything, like literally anything. She's hesitant to do anything. She's scared that one move could lead to a coalition. But the thing is, nobody's worried about the pink team. The pink team has changed for good, people think. Right now, the world is focused on trying to stop the spread of fascism, because there are some other countries, which we'll mention in the next episode, which are starting to switch over to fascism. But the pink team's leader, she, with all the stress that she's got on her mind, she resigns. And when she resigns, there are 3 leaders who could possibly take a spot. The vice president of the pink team, who is, like, the exact same as her, like, democratic, you know, kind of like an oh my god, I can't say it, like, a guy who's very authoritarian, who wants his people to be, like, locked away behind his borders. And then a guy who comes out as a democratic person, but secretly wants to bring back the mighty pink team. And this guy, the guy who is the third guy, who I just mentioned, he's elected because he sounds really good for the people. Not too long after he's elected, he begins pumping money into the military and also money into, like, more money into people working harder into the pink team. And the OS is kind of like, okay, yeah. But then, out of nowhere, pink team troops move into the gold team. It's clear that this is a declaration of war, and but the gold team doesn't stand a chance. Pink team troops' main focus will be sprint over and capture the capital, which they do within a couple of weeks. And almost immediately, the gold team is absolutely demolished and is fully annexed into the pink team. And the lion team is like, okay, what are you doing? And there is no response. This leader has just invaded the gold team and is going to get away with it, because, you know, who's going to do anything about it? So that, the pink team now has a new leader, and the pink team will officially switch to fascism. And we now have our third fascist country in the world, being the pink team. Some countries just can't avoid being dragged back to their old ways, and the pink team, sadly, is one of them. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.